In April 2025, a letter allegedly written by Olympic legend Usain Bolt to Burkina Faso's military leader Ibrahim Traoré sent shockwaves through international media. Why would the world's fastest man secretly reach out to one of Africa's most controversial young leaders? And right after a failed coup attempt, the unexpected connection between these two figures from completely different worlds raised eyebrows across the globe. What could possibly link a Jamaican sprint champion with the head of a West African nation fighting political turmoil? And why did this rumored letter emerge just days after armed forces tried to overthrow Traoré's government? Have you ever wondered how global celebrities influence world politics behind closed doors? Do you think sports icons should voice their opinions on international conflicts? Would you react differently to political news if your favorite athlete took a stand? The story I'm about to share reveals surprising truths about power, influence, and how modern legends shape our world in unexpected ways. If this sounds interesting, hit that like button and subscribe now. You won't want to miss what happened when these two worlds collided. Usain Bolt isn't just a runner. He's a global phenomenon. Born in Jamaica's Trelawney Parish, Bolt transformed from a cricket-loving boy to the fastest human in history. With 8 Olympic gold medals and world records of 9.58 seconds in the 100 meters and 19.19 seconds in the 200 meters, his athletic dominance remains unmatched years after his retirement. But Bolt's influence extends far beyond the track. His trademark, Lightning Bolt, pose became instantly recognizable worldwide, adopted by everyone from school children to world leaders. His charismatic personality, infectious smile, and playful confidence captivated audiences across cultural, political, and geographic boundaries. Unlike many athletes who fade from public consciousness after retirement, Bolt's star power has endured. Through the Usain Bolt Foundation, he has channeled his success into meaningful change. The foundation focuses on children's education, improving community structures, and creating opportunities for underprivileged youth in Jamaica. His philanthropic work reaches beyond his homeland through partnerships with international organizations addressing poverty and educational inequality. For someone of Bolt's stature to potentially engage with political matters, especially in a nation experiencing conflict, carries tremendous weight. His global appeal transcends typical celebrity influence. When a figure beloved by millions speaks, people listen regardless of political affiliation. This universal respect makes any political statement from Bolt particularly significant. Think about it. Have you ever changed your opinion about something because someone you admire took a stand? That's the power someone like Bolt holds. His words can shift perspectives and open minds in ways politicians simply cannot. This is precisely why news of a possible letter to Traoré left many wondering. What would drive a sports legend to reach into the complex world of African politics? While Bolt was breaking records on the track, Ibrahim Traoré was making his own headlines for very different reasons. In September 2022, at just 34 years old, Captain Traoré seized control of Burkina Faso in a military takeover. As one of the world's youngest national leaders, he presented himself as a fresh alternative to decades of failed governance. Traoré quickly implemented bold reforms that divided opinion both locally and internationally. His government took control of 2 major gold mines, announcing that Burkina Faso's resources should benefit its own people first. He launched sweeping economic changes aimed at reducing foreign influence over the nation's finances and resources. Perhaps most notably, Traoré took a strong stance against what he called neo-colonial interference. In January 2023, he ordered French troops to leave the country within 30 days, ending a military arrangement that had lasted for years. He removed French language requirements from government communications and renamed streets and buildings that carried colonial references. These actions earned both praise and criticism. Human rights organizations expressed concern about Traoré's methods. Reports emerged of restricted press freedom, detention of political opponents, and harsh security measures. The rapid militarization of civilian sectors raised questions about the future of democracy in the country. Yet many Burkinabe citizens view Traoré differently. For people who had watched their country struggle with poverty and violence despite foreign military presence, his decisive actions represented hope. Local support rallies frequently draw large crowds, with many young people seeing him as a champion against outside control. Pause. Have you noticed how often Western media portrays African leaders who challenge foreign influence as dangerous threats? Why do you think we rarely hear the perspectives of ordinary citizens who live under these governments? If you're finding this story as fascinating as I do, take a moment to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Is Traoré a revolutionary hero or an authoritarian in the making? Let me know what you think, and let's continue this journey together. To understand the significance of Bolt's alleged letter, we need to examine Burkina Faso's troubled political landscape. Once known as Upper Volta during French colonial rule, the country has experienced 7 military coups since gaining independence in 1960. Each new government promised stability, yet the nation continued to face challenges with poverty and violence. The April 2025 coup attempt marked a dangerous escalation. According to government sources, military officers loyal to former political figures launched a coordinated attack on multiple government buildings in the capital, Ouagadougou. The rebellion was quickly suppressed, with authorities announcing the arrest of 23 military personnel and several civilian conspirators within 48 hours. Government officials claimed to have found evidence linking the plot to foreign interests. Communications allegedly showed contact between coup leaders and officials in neighboring Ivory Coast, with suggestions of financial support from Western nations uncomfortable with Traoré's anti-foreign stance. While these claims remain unverified by independent sources, they fueled public anger and strengthened Traoré's position. This attempted overthrow had implications far beyond Burkina Faso's borders. Throughout the Sahel region, similar young military leaders in Mali and Niger watched closely, knowing their own governments faced comparable threats. The coup's failure reinforced a growing narrative that the era of Western-backed regime change in West Africa might be ending. For ordinary Burkinabe citizens, the failed coup represented more than political maneuvering. It meant continued uncertainty in a nation already dealing with hunger, displacement, and violence. Families who had endured decades of instability wondered if peace would ever come. Communities divided along political lines questioned who they could trust when loyalties shifted overnight. It was against this tense backdrop that rumors of Usain Bolt's letter began to spread, a strange twist that would add an unexpected dimension to an already volatile situation. News of the alleged letter between Bolt and Traoré first surfaced on social media 3 days after the failed coup. A Burkinabe journalist claimed that a source within Traoré's inner circle had confirmed the existence of a private message from a Jamaican sprinter. Within hours, the story spread across Twitter, Facebook, and news outlets worldwide. What exactly did the letter contain? No one could say for certain. Some reports suggested Bolt had written to express solidarity with Traoré's anti-colonial stance and efforts to reclaim national resources. Others claimed the letter contained warnings about external threats to Burkina Faso's sovereignty. A few media outlets even speculated Bolt offered financial support for development projects. Without the actual document, these theories remained just that, theories. Verification proved nearly impossible. Bolt's representatives issued a carefully worded statement, neither confirming nor denying the letter, saying only that Mr. Bolt respects the sovereignty of all nations and wishes peace for the people of Burkina Faso. Traoré's government similarly avoided direct confirmation, though officials notably never denied receiving such communication. The alleged connection between these figures took on powerful symbolic meaning. For supporters of Traoré, Bolt's supposed endorsement represented international legitimacy from a respected black icon rather than from Western political establishments. For critics, it raised questions about celebrities potentially endorsing controversial political figures without understanding local complexities. Public reaction varied dramatically. In Burkina Faso, young people celebrated in the streets, sharing images of Bolt's lightning pose alongside photos of Traoré. Internationally, the response ranged from fascination to skepticism, with heated debates about the proper role of sports figures in geopolitics. When you think about it, does it actually matter if this letter really exists? Sometimes, the story we believe carries more weight than the truth itself. What does it say about our world when the possible words of a sports star can impact international politics more than years of diplomatic efforts? News outlets worldwide cover the story according to their own political leanings. Western media questioned the letter's authenticity and highlighted Traoré's human rights record. African and Caribbean outlets emphasized themes of solidarity and self-determination. Middle Eastern channels connected it to broader anti-colonial movements. On social media, hashtags like hashtag Bolt stands with Africa and hashtag lightning strikes trended for weeks. Memes combining Bolt's racing images with Burkina Faso's flag spread rapidly. TikTok videos analyzing the situation gained millions of views, with young creators from across Africa celebrating what they saw as cross-continental black solidarity. Political analysts offered varied interpretations. Some viewed it as a genuine personal connection between two public figures with shared perspectives on global power dynamics. Others suggested it might be a calculated move by either Traoré seeking legitimacy or Bolt expanding his humanitarian profile. Human rights organizations expressed concern that celebrity endorsements could oversimplify complex political situations and potentially legitimize restrictive governance. They urged public figures to consider the full context before lending their support to political leaders. The incident raised important questions about celebrity influence in global politics. When sports stars, musicians, and actors with millions of followers speak on political issues, they can shape public opinion more effectively than traditional diplomats, for better or worse. Whether Bolt's letter to Traoré was real or imagined, this story teaches us valuable lessons. It shows how figures from completely different fields can impact global conversations and reminds us that influence comes with responsibility. In today's world, perception often matters more than facts. A rumored connection between a sports hero and a political leader created a narrative powerful enough to affect international relations. What do you think about celebrities weighing in on complex political situations? Should they stay in their lane or use their platform for change? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Tomorrow, we'll explore how another unexpected figure secretly shaped the outcome of a major world event.